Welcome back, YouTube. This is COZUNON, Kazanon, back with my brother Billy. And today we're talking about Morrowind and our experiences and what it overall just meant to us. The first experience I had with it is I remember going to the electronics store and I just got done playing Baldur's Gate and I was looking for another game like that. So I asked the clerk there, what he recommended, and he told me about Morrowind, and I didn't read the gaming magazines and I didn't look anything up online, so I didn't hear anything else about this game. So I took it home and I loaded it on my computer, and man, was he right. He said I would love this game, and he was absolutely right. I spent so many hours just playing this game. I used to go to work and come back home and do nothing but play this game all night until I went to sleep, and then just on for months and months. I think even for like a year. Like, this was like unhealthy, but
an unhealthy addiction,
like cigarettes. But it was gaming, so it was awesome. So, but that's what I did for a while with this game. And I remember I used to try to like max everything out, and I remember like of course, like everyone remembers the first scene when you finally leave that first town and that guy falls out of the sky. And ever since then I was hooked. I'm like, if this random shit happens, this is gonna be awesome. Of course, it's not random, it's scripted, it always happens. But since then I was hooked. What's your first impressions of the game?
My first impressions of the game was watching you play it. Like you said, you used to get home and get on your computer and play this game for hours on end, and I used to sit by your side like a little puppy dog, and I used to watch you play this game. And I knew right then and there that I had to play this game. Unfortunately, I had that kind of brother who didn't like sharing his video games with me at that point in time. And so I never played it on the PC. I had to wait and buy the Xbox version of this game. Now, I bought Morrowind before I owned an Xbox. I didn't own an Xbox for several months after I bought this game, because I was that dedicated to buying this game and then owning an Xbox, because this game was just that awesome to me.
Yeah, definitely. And I remember when he got the Xbox, and my computer wasn't that great. I had to turn everything way down just to play, but I still fell in love with it. But once I started to watch him play on the Xbox, I mean, the Xbox made it look 100 times better. The water, had the ripple effect with the reflection, and it just looked so amazing. And I knew I had to own it for the Xbox too, because at this point I kind of got fed up and tired of always having to upgrade my computer, so I was kind of fed up with it at that point.
Now, some personal experiences that I have with this game. I remember being way up north in I guess I would call it Nord country, because there was a bunch of I think like one Nord settlement there, and there was this temple there, and most of my strongest memories are of me dying a lot. Those are the memories that you tend to remember the most. And
I don't remember those memories. Oh, it's because I didn't die.
Oh yeah, But there was this temple where I died a lot, and I would walk into the temple.
There's a lot of temples where you died a lot.
Yeah, there was a lot. There was this temple, and all these fucking henchmen started just coming at me, and I would draw my sword and I would just start hacking and slashing and just fucking killing them. But they would kill me, but not the henchmen, just one person with a super powerful weapon. I was playing this game on normal at that point in time, would just pummel my ass. And I died on that particular dungeon a lot, until I finally realized that this guy was fucking me up and I had to take him out first. And at that point, I would draw my blade and I would go straight for him, hack it at his fucking face. I took him out, then I took out the rest of his henchmen. And after I took him out and the rest of his henchmen, I went back and I looted his body. And on his body, I found, no wonder why he was fucking me up. He had this super powerful weapon that just put the hurt on anybody. So he had this super powerful weapon and a robe. I don't remember what the robe's abilities were, but it was. I remember wearing that robe for a long time after that temple, and I kept that sword throughout the rest of the game.
I kind of have almost like a similar experience, only I didn't die. Just like, no, what I was going to say is, around the town there was a little fort, like one of those forts where all the Emperor's guards stand at or whatever. And just around the ways there's this old ancient ruins where all these magical creatures, roam, where you can only kill them with silver weapons or magic weapons. And I would go down there and I'd shoot them with just a couple arrows, get like 3 or 4 of them like to follow me, and I would run into this Emperor's little Emperor setup, and then I'd go inside the building. So all the Emperors would go over there and they'd be trying to kill these beasts, but they couldn't because they didn't have silver swords or weapons or magical weapons, so they all would die. So I'd go into the building, I'd race around to the top, I'd go out the top, and I'd just watch all these guards die, and then I'd go down and I'd kill the beast, and then I'd loot all their bodies. But I did this so like my standing with the Emperor guards wouldn't go down, but I could still claim the armor and sell it. At one point I was trying to collect everything in the game. Like I wanted a whole Emperor uniform and just one uniform of everything. That's what I was going for.
Do you mean the Imperial armor?
Yeah, the Imperial armor. And that's what I was going for. So, and that's how I used to do it. I used to just I would steal from everywhere. I didn't care about my rating. I stole from everybody, and I would sell to other people. It was just a ridiculously huge, awesome game where anything can happen.
Something else I remember about this game is the first time I traveled to Balmora, and the first time I went into the Revere, I think that was his name, Revere shop, that little cat-like person.
I killed him.
He was positioned in a way to where he couldn't, like some of his stuff that he had for sale, you could steal and not get caught because it was
around a little
around a little corner, and he never moved from his position, so you could grab all his shit and just walk out with it. But one time I remember, or maybe I remember you doing that, but it was one of us. I remember one of us putting on all that armor, and then you walk past him, and he mumbles, "That armor looks familiar." He doesn't chase you or anything. It just that memory just sticks out in my mind. It was good times.
I mean, there's a lot of things to definitely talk about on this game. Like I recently went back to play this game, but unfortunately, like the loading time was just so ridiculous. And after a while, like after I'd go into a building, it'd be trying to load, and it would just be so long to load that it would just freeze itself. So I had to start a new character, and I no longer played on the PC on my old characters because my computer's been reformatted like 100 times. I don't even have the original computer anymore. So I don't even have it loaded on my computer anymore, but I do have the original and the 2 expansions, and then I do have the Game of the Year edition for the Xbox. But another thing that really sticks out in my mind is after you get off the boat and you go and you fill out all that stupid information like, "Yay, I'm part of this star family," or whatever the fuck, and you name your character or whatever, and the guy says you're free to go, and you go out of the building. And then I remember looking at the shelves right next to the table, and I put the cursor over it, and it said like, plate. And I'm like, huh, and I took it, and I'm like, this game is awesome. I just fucking stole a plate. And so I'm in there, I'm like, no one caught me. This is an easy way to make money. So I'm in there stealing all this worthless shit, right? And I go sell it, I don't make any money, but I'm like, this is awesome. Like, I can take anything in this game that I want. And I just remember that being so awesome and so cool that I can go in there, and if I wanted to, like, I can take your fork so you can eat your fucking dinner, bitch.
Exactly.
I could take your dinner and just leave you plates.
I especially remember the first time you became a vampire, and it was a little after you contracted the
AIDS virus.
Oh yeah, because the AIDS virus leads to vampires. But it's 3 days after you contract the disease. I don't remember what it was called. And you wake up and you're a vampire. And I remember, like, at that point in the game, I was low level, so I remember jumping, and the jump was just like from here to like right there, and it was just amazing. And every time you hit somebody, it was a one shot. You know, you didn't have to sit there and fucking, you know, hack at the guy for forever.
I remember the vampire thing too. I didn't find out about it till way late in the game, and I didn't read the message boards. I used to not read the message boards, but I did occasionally, and finally I was like, wow, you can be a vampire? It's pretty fucking awesome. But at this point, I was already like level, you know, I was already like maxing my levels. I had 100 on acrobat and speed and all this other stuff. So I became a vampire. I remember it was 3 days, and I rested for 3 days, like right then and there. And I walked out, and I'm like, this isn't even worth it. You know, I was already as strong as I was, and now when I, you know, it just really made me mad. I hated it. It didn't really help me out. So I didn't really find it that appealing.
Well, the thing is, you have to remember, for a high character, you know, you can pretty much do everything that a vampire can do, but you don't get any of the benefits, but you get all of the negative effects of vampirism. So anytime you walk into a city, you are attacked.
I wouldn't mind that. I didn't even go to the city. It's just, you know, you were in daylight and your health would slowly go down, or even in the water, your health would. I hated the water, by the way. All those fucking slaughterfish. I hate slaughterfish to this day. And then when you're walking on the paths and those fucking birds, how many of these fucking birds are there? Like, I played the game. Like, I played the game like in a fucking hour, and I think I exterminated this whole fucking colony of birds. Like, there's no way they could exist. They have to be extinct. But no, there's another one, and it's stuck on a tree, but I hear the motherfucker.
Those fucking birds were annoying. But yeah, that's our experience with Morrowind.
Yeah, it was actually a really good experience. It's like the birds sucked, slaughterfish sucked, but everything else was really awesome. Except for vampires, they sucked too.
Vampires were awesome if you were low level.
He likes Twilight.
I love Twilight.
Yeah, Twilight's pretty good.
Fuck Twilight!
Fuck Twilight.
Fuck Twilight.
Why'd you have to yell it?
Because
did you really think
I had to exert how much I did not like Twilight.
You know,
because you made it seem like as though I did.
Yeah, but of course everybody.
Shut up.
Everybody watching this
Shut up.
now really thinks you like it super hardcore because you took such a like definitive stance against it.
You're right on the Twilight fan. I'm ashamed to say it.
We're going to get you help, but until then,
intervention.
Intervention for Twilight. Stay up.
Next episode.